How are you all doing today? Can you all hear me? Okay, good. Is everybody doing okay today? I'm getting things just kind of moved around here. Okay, good. I'm gonna try to get this shared onto Facebook so that we have everybody here. Everybody knows we're doing this. So give me just a second while I am getting this shared and getting things set up. It's not letting me share it to a group, but I'm working on getting everything set up here. So give me just a second. Does anybody have any specific chapters of ICD-10 that they would like to cover today? I'm not set in my ways on which ones I want to cover. So if you guys have ones that you struggle with that you want to cover, then let me know. Anything about sepsis is hard. Let me see if I have sepsis specific cases. You know what? I just realized I don't have something pulled up on my computer here. Let's see. The viral infection, that's staph. You know, I'll be honest, I don't even think I have any sepsis cases that in this document that I'm going over, Lisa, but I will make a list. I'll start making a list of cases that you guys want to see. And I will make sure to get some sepsis cases. I did not realize that I did not put any in here, but I will work on it for you. Absolutely. How about, because I haven't gotten any other suggestions from anybody else. How about let's do, what's a more difficult section that people tend to struggle with? Let's do injury, poisoning, and other external causes. So we're looking at like fractures, injuries, things along those lines. Kimberly, we're going to be going over ICD-10 CM. So we're going to be coding just ICD-10 CM, just general. We're going to do chapter 19 codes. So let's start off with some general guideline questions. So these are true or false questions. I only have 5 of them, but they're based on guidelines. Okay. So instead of just saying true or false, make sure you tell me your guideline path. So I see 19, 1, whatever it is. Kimberly, these are ones that I have made up. I am going to be getting them on the website to be available for purchase, but I don't know when Rachel is going to get them loaded. Let me see if she's loaded them yet. Last time I looked, they were not available. But let me look and see if she has gotten them loaded. Yeah, she has not gotten them loaded onto the website just yet, but as soon as they are, Rachel, oh yeah, Rachel. So yes, they are ready. They're in the OneDrive. I think they're in the OneDrive. Let me double check because my poor brain. Let me double check, Rachel. I think they're in the OneDrive under, yeah, it's the folder that's labeled ICD-10 CM questions. I know we talked about a whole lot of stuff last week, so don't feel bad. Okay. So, question number 1. Superficial injuries such as abrasions or contusions are not coded when associated with more severe injuries of the same site. So again, true or false. And then what is our guideline path to either support it or make it false? So you can go to your guidelines either at the beginning of chapter 19 in your AAPC manual, or you can go to your guidelines at the very beginning of the book that start with the letter G. Chantel, did you pay in full or did you do a payment plan? If you paid in full, then it typically takes 24 hours or 24 to 48 hours for Rachel to get everything settled and then get your enrollment email sent out. If you did a payment plan, okay, so you paid in full. When did you sign up? Kimberly, they are going to be separate. We might do, I don't know, Rachel, we haven't talked about that. Do you want to do 2 separate bundles? Do you want, or 2 separates? Do you want to do each one of them separately? And then we can also do a, yeah, let's do that. Let's do them each separate and then do a bundle for all of them together. We can figure out pricing and stuff later, Rachel. So Chantel, you paid for everything on Tuesday. Rachel, do you mind checking on Chantel's enrollment? She said that she paid in full on Tuesday. Okay. Question number 1. Superficial injuries such as contusions and abrasions are not coded when associated with more severe injuries of the same site. So true or false. And then what is our guideline path? So by guideline path, does everybody know what I mean by that? Guideline path is going to be something that looks like this. So it's going to look like IC 19A2C or something along those lines. So section 1, subsection C for chapter specific, 19 for chapter 19, and so on and so forth. So as you're going through your guidelines, so if you look at chapter 19 guidelines, it starts out saying IC 19, right? So this is telling us that we are in section 1, C for chapter specific, 19 for chapter 19, and then we're going to have B, 2, or something along those lines. Okay. So let me erase this because this is not the true path. I don't know what the path is yet. So if we have superficial injuries, such as abrasions or contusions, this is going to be true. So our guideline path for this is going to be IC19B2. So the opposite here, okay? You may have a question on your exam that gives you this guideline path. And then it says, what does this guideline tell us? And you have to be able to go through your guidelines, find the section that they're talking about, and then interpret that and answer the question correctly. So that's why knowing your guideline path is important. Okay. Question number 2. For any documented infected burn site, you do not use an additional code for the infection. True or false? And then either way, which one or what's our guideline path? Okay, so we've got a couple that say false. Okay, yep. So it is false. So our guidelines were in chapter 19. We are talking about burns. And then we're going to look for infected burn. And then our guideline does say for any documented infected burn site, we should use an additional code for the infection site. So we are true. And the guideline is IC19. And then it is letter D. And then number 4. So does this guideline path make sense to everybody? So if I were to give you a guideline, and my guideline that I give you is IC19E5A. Sorry, it is false. I was looking at the one above it. So if I were to give you this guideline, IC19E5A, is this number 3? Is that true or false? So when coding for an adverse effect that has been correctly prescribed and properly administered, you want to assign the appropriate code for the nature of the adverse effect, followed by the appropriate code for the adverse effect. Yep. Yep. Number 3 is true. Am I writing down the wrong numbers? Yep, it should. Guys, sorry. I'm trying to do multiple things at once today. It should be B1. Thanks, Chantel. I'm trying to do multiple things and I'm trying to juggle comments and explain the guidelines, and I was doing it a little a little too quickly. Okay. Question number 4. Codes for underdosing should never be assigned as a principal or first listed code. True or false? And then our guideline path. It's Friday. It's been a week. My brain is fried. Okay, so I've got some trues. What's our guideline path for this one? Any ideas? Our guideline path for number 4. We know it's IC 19 because we're in chapter 19, right? Where should we go after that? So we've got letter E for the adverse effects. And then we are going to go to number 5 for the drug toxicity. And then underdosing is letter C. Sorry, I'm over here looking at it in on my book, and I'm not showing you guys what I'm talking about. So we're IC 19, letter E for adverse effects. And then we've got number 5 for the occurrence of drug toxicity, letter C for underdosing. No, Sunflower, you're totally fine. I promise. No hard feelings. I know some people are just watching and just kind of absorbing. Okay. Last one. Question number 5. So Terry, the file will be listed on the medicalbillcode.com/CPC website at some point this weekend. But these are questions that I have created, so they're not available anywhere at this point. But as soon as they are, I will make sure to make a video and let you guys know. Oh, you're welcome, Nicole. Absolutely. This is why I'm doing it, so that people can have more practice. All of the things. Question number 5. As with certain other T codes, some of the complication of care codes have the external cause included in the code. The code includes the nature of the complication as well as the type of procedure that caused the complication. An external cause code indicating the type of procedure is necessary for these codes. So true or false, number 5. And then what is our guideline path? Any ideas? True or false for number 5? I know you guys are probably looking because it's a longer one to find. Do I have any videos working a diagnosis? Like as far as like pulling things out, we're actually going to go through some scenarios and some cases if that's what you're asking for. So this one is false. And it's one tiny little thing in there that is different from the guideline. So this "and" should be no. So no external cause code indicating the type of procedure is necessary. And you can find that here. So this is IC 19 G4. So this is telling us that the procedure includes the nature of the complication as well as the type of procedure that caused the complication. So therefore, no external cause code indicating the type of procedure is necessary. So our guideline is IC 19G4. Okay. Making sure I'm not getting any warnings or anything on my screen here real quick, because I ran into that a couple weeks ago and I'm not about to get suspended on you guys again. That was a long couple of days that I wasn't able to do anything. I felt bad. Okay, so let's just do a couple of these. We're not going to go through every single one. Let's just do a couple of these. So we need to identify our main term first, and then we need to find our code. So let's do let's do this one here. So initial care for an open wound of the left middle finger with a splinter. So what's our main term? Wound. Yep. Wound is our main term. So I'm going to flip here in my book and then I'll show you guys where I'm at. I'm going to scoot up. Okay. So we've got a wound. You'll see. Yep. Okay. So our wound is on the left middle finger. So we'll go to finger. And then it's the little finger. And it's left. So with this one, because we have the splinter, there's no indication about splinter here, right? So the wound is actually going to be a laceration, because we have indication that there's that foreign object. So it's more a laceration than just a general wound. I know that can get a little... Did I say little instead of middle? It should have been middle. Yeah. Sorry. So it's going to be a wound and then a laceration. It should have been middle, Becky. Sorry. I in my head, I had the L from the left. So it's a laceration. So we're actually going to get out of the wound area and we're going to go to laceration instead. So we're leaving main term wound now and going to laceration. So underneath laceration, oh, I'm on the wrong page. So we're going to laceration because it has a splinter in it. So that's more a cut than just a wound. So since we have the detail that the splinter is there that caused the wound, that's a laceration instead of a general catch-all term for wound. Okay. So now we're going to go laceration and then finger. And I'm going to go to the right finger this time so I don't confuse you guys. And this is the middle. I almost did little again. Middle. And then it is the left with foreign body. There's no mention of nail damage. But we've got that foreign body, which is the splinter. So that gives us S61.223. Let me write this in so I don't mix up my numbers, and then we'll go expand it. So we've got S61.223. So it's a laceration with foreign body of the left middle finger without damage to the nail. And then this is telling us we need a seventh character. So S61.22 doesn't have our list of seventh characters. S61.2 doesn't. So we have to go all the way back to the beginning of S61. To get our list of seventh characters. So this is initial care. So we're going to use seventh character A. So our code for initial care for an open wound of the left middle finger with a splinter is going to be S61.223A. So are you asking what do I have highlighted for the wound? Wound is just our main term. Why not S61.243? Let me look. 243. Because they're not stating that it's a puncture wound. In the book. Did I have something highlighted in the book? Or are you talking these that are highlighted? These here that are like the laceration, these words that are highlighted. So these, I did not physically highlight these. These are highlights that are in the AAPC publication. So if you look, all of the ones that are highlighted in yellow are unspecified codes. So that way it kind of stands out to you that if you have additional detail, you should not be using the unspecified. So if you look at all of them, you've got the ones that specify the finger are not highlighted. And then the one that says unspecified is highlighted. Same thing. Specific fingers are not highlighted. Unspecified finger is highlighted. Well, I don't know if there's any in the blood. Let me see. There probably are. Yeah, there's some, but just not as many that are in chapter 3 for the blood and blood forming organs. So, Mama Bear, I do not have the CCS certification, and I do not do anything with ICD-10 PCS. So, I can give you advice on CPT coding, and then the professional side of coding, but I can't give anything specific to CCS, if that makes sense. Sunflower, you probably just never noticed it, to be completely honest. And now that you've seen it, your eyes are just drawn to it, is probably what it is. Okay. Now, let's just jump to some cases. Where can we start working on studying for PCS? I will be totally honest. I don't know of a bunch of places that train for PCS. I know there is, I'll have to look up her name on YouTube. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. But you can just go to YouTube and just type in ICD-10 PCS. And there will probably be a lot of videos that pop up. Because I've never studied for it, and I don't use ICD-10 PCS, I've never really gone out there and looked to see what all is out there. So I know that probably doesn't help, but that's about the only advice I can give you on that, unfortunately. Okay, case number 1. I am not going to read off the case because a couple weeks ago, if you guys were on here, I got warned for inappropriate language, right? So I'm not going to read off an entire case just in case there is a term in here. But once you guys go through and read it, then let me know, what do you think our condition is that we need to code? Does Contempo go over ICD-10 PCS? I know she does a lot of stuff on like CPT and professional coding, but like I said, I've never been out there and looked. So, yep. Yep, so we're going to do the left forearm. So, Anna, we are only coding for the conditions, not our procedures at this point. So, we wouldn't code the tetanus. Okay. So, what's our main term that we want to look up for the left forearm? What's our main term for that condition? Bite. Yep. Yep. So beaded designs. You could go to wound, and then it would give you more like, it would filter it down a little bit, and then it would end up sending you to bite forearm. So we have bite, and then it's on the forearm. And then we have the detail that there is tendon involvement, so it is not going to be superficial. So we're going to go with the default S51.85. Normally I'm a little bit faster flipping through here, but I've got to hold one side of the book with my other hand because my desk isn't wide enough so it doesn't fall. So S51.852 or S.85, and then it's on the left, so it's 852. And then we've got to go find our 7th character. So is our 7th character A, D, or S? Yep, A. Okay. Any questions on that one? It's not always 7th characters. So this is where you need to go in your, when you're in your tabular. This is why we always want to verify everything in our tabular, right? If you need a 7th character, then you will have a little circle with 7. Sometimes you will have that you don't need them. So like for instance, no, that's giving you a 7th. There are going to be some codes just on this page. There's not. Can you show why it's A? Yeah. So A is just going to be your initial encounter. So active treatment. So since we are actively being treated for that forearm wound or bite, then it's going to be active treatment. V, I don't have anything like a schedule set up just yet, as far as I need to see kind of, because I'm working on a whole bunch of stuff behind the scenes. So I don't have a official schedule set up yet. Okay, case number 2. Once you guys read, what is our condition? And then what is our main term for that condition? Okay, yep. Yep, so we've got our laceration. What's our main term that we want to look up? Laceration. Perfect. Yep. Okay. So we've got laceration. Our anatomic location of the laceration is on the forehead. Is there a foreign body that's present, or should we just use our default code? No foreign body, correct. So we're going to go with S01.81. Mm-hmm. So S01. .81. And then that's laceration without foreign body of other part of the head. We need a 7th character. So should we put our 7th character directly after? Is that a valid code? Or do we need something else? XA. Perfect. Yep. So the S01.81 is only 5 characters. we would need that placeholder and then the 7th character. Okay? While you guys read number 3, I had a couple questions in here, so I'm going to answer these questions really quickly while you guys read case number 3. So Diamond says that her school wants you to do the CBCS, but you've heard it. Yeah. CBCS is more a billing certification than a coding certification. So if you are wanting to get into coding, your CPC or your CCS are going to be your highly recognized certifications. And then somebody else asked, oh, where did it go? Hang on. It just, when writing the code, should you always put the slash through the 0? No, I just do that because it's easiest for me to recognize that that's a 0 instead of an O. I've always done it. So it's just something, it's just a habit that I do. You don't have to put the slash through the 0. Hang on, somebody said that's only 6. No, your placeholder. Oh, I see what you were saying. Yes, sorry. You're a biller and coder, just scared to take your CPC. Yeah. Yeah, it can be intimidating. Ashley, the placeholders are going to only be whenever you don't have 6 characters and you need a 7th character. So like in this instance, this only had 5 and we had something in the 7th place. So we had to put a placeholder in that 6th position. Mahala, whenever you submit your claims, they're not going to be handwritten. So whatever the electronic form is, then it will put it correct. Should we be adding the W codes in case 3 for fall due to ice? Yes. In the real world, you would. This case is just asking for the injury code for chapter 19. So I don't have these doing everything together. This is just going to be coding for the injury code. Correct. The X will never be last. It will always be in between 4th character and 7th character, 5th character and 7th character, things along those lines. And yes, the placeholder will always be the letter X. No, don't be sorry for asking questions. That's what we're here for. That's what I'm here for, to answer questions and give you guys guidance. Okay, case number 3. What's our condition? What are we going to code? Okay, so they came in with pain in the arm. Do we have a definitive diagnosis? Yep. Oh, I want the highlighter. So if we have a definitive diagnosis, we are only going to code the definitive diagnosis and not signs or symptoms that are related. So don't always just go with what's up here. We always want to make sure we're reading everything and picking everything out. So main term is going to be the fracture. I'm going to scoot this up so you guys can see the diagnosis as well as the book. So the fracture, the anatomic location is the humerus. Does anybody know where the humerus is? Anatomy question. The upper arm. Yep. So when you hit your funny bone, you're hitting the end of your humerus. So your humerus is up here. Well, you guys can't see that. Your humerus is up here. Your funny bone, when you hit it, you're hitting the end of that bone. That's why it's called the humerus. Well, I guess that's why it's called the funny bone. Okay. So your humerus, it's on the shaft of the humerus. So we're going to go to shaft. And then it is a complete fracture. So we don't have a complete option. But we're going to go to specified NEC because they're telling us exactly what type of fracture it is. We don't have an entry for that specific type of fracture. So we're going to do the specified NEC, which is not elsewhere classified. So we've got S42.39. S42.39, we need a sixth character for the laterality. So this is of the right arm. So 391. Now, be careful. I want to show you guys something. So this is a really good example. If you're looking for your seventh characters, do not jump to 3-1 because this only goes for the subcategory S42.31, right? So if we were to use one of these, it could potentially be incorrect. So there's not anything at the beginning of S42.3. So we have to go all the way to the beginning of S42. In this case, if you look, you have A, D, G, K, P, and S. Here you have an extra one. A, B, D, J, K, P, S. So you always have to make sure you're using the correct set of your seventh characters. It is so easy to accidentally go to the wrong one. So S42.39, there's not one there. So we have to go to S42.3. So just take off that last character, S42.3. It's not there. So now we take off that last character, go to S42. And here's our appropriate list. So that being said, Bridget, I'll answer your question here in just a second. That being said, which one are we going to use? Let me go back up so you can see everything. What's our seventh character for this situation now? So of A, B, D, G, K, P, and S, what's our seventh character for this situation? A. Yep. So don't always assume that your seventh characters are going to be A, D, S. Especially with fractures, you see some of them have ADS, like this one here. But some of them are going to have a lot more. There's even one of them, I can't remember which subcategory it's in. But yeah, like this one here. There's a whole dang list of them, right? So make sure you're looking at the correct list of your seventh characters. They can get very tricky. Okay. Go ahead and read case number 4. I'm going to answer these questions here really quickly. So you have the 2024 version, Bridget. Will you be able to use it on your CPC exam? As long as you test by December 31st, then yes, you can use 2024 version of your books. So Shelby, I actually have notes that you can purchase that will help you prep your CPT manuals. If you go to the link that's in my bio, it's medicalbilco.com/CPC. I do have a whole section of book prep documents that are available. So Bridget, if it does not specify open or closed, we are going to default to closed. And you have a guideline that tells you that. If you do not have specificity of open versus closed, your guidelines tell you to default to closed. Trying to find it here really quickly for you. If anybody has the guideline path for open versus closed, let me know. I'm looking for it here really quickly. So it is chapter 19. Letter A for coding of traumatic. And then you've got fracture not indicated as open or closed should be coded to closed. A fracture that's not indicated whether it's displaced or not displaced should be coded to displaced. Dacia, I will start doing CPT coding videos once I get CPT coding scenarios together. That's part of the thing that I'm working on behind the scenes that is kind of keeping me from going live as often because I'm trying to split time between my full-time corporate job, educating our students at Legacy Education, creating videos, doing all the things. So yeah, I will eventually start doing it. Okay, so for case number 4, our condition is the infection of the amputation stump, left lower leg, okay? So the infection of the amputation stump. It's not just an infection. Yes, an infection is present, right? But let's think about this. Okay? So our infection is the result of the amputation stump. So if the infection is due to the amputation stump, that's going to be, yep, Danielle, complication. So Jennifer, we're actually not coding the other conditions here. We're just focusing on chapter 19 codes just for these scenarios. Like I said, they're just for chapter 19. In the real world, you would code the diabetes as well. But we're only coding chapter 19 right now. So it's going to be a complication. Let me get to the beginning of the complication section because it is rather large in the book. So we will go complication. The complication is present on the amputation stump. And then it is an infection or inflammation. And then this is the lower limb. So T87.4. And then we just got to go back to the tabular and expand it further. And then I've got to scoot this up a little bit. T87.4. And then we've got the left lower leg. And it's going to be T87.44 for the left lower leg. If you all can hear my dog snoring in the background, I apologize because she's being very loud today. She's being very inconsiderate. I think she just snored so loud that she woke herself up. So you may not hear her again for a minute. Okay. Any questions on that one? But yeah, so like somebody was saying, in the real world, we would also code the diabetes that's present. Kimberly, I say on a daily basis, they are my word. We actually just had a conversation in my group on Facebook today about how study buddies and, everybody had their pets and stuff. I keep saying that my study buddies or my work buddies or my coworkers are horrible and terrible and they need to be fired on a daily basis because that's all they do is they just sleep all day long. They are the worst study buddies, I'm telling you. They do not motivate you. They distract you. Okay, case number 5. Take a second and read it. And then let me know what you think it is that we're supposed to code. And then if you guys are on here, don't forget to subscribe. If you don't, not subscribe, to follow. If you guys don't already follow me. Your cat just stalks you, Teresa. Yeah, I can believe that for sure. Okay. So we have a bite. Okay. He was bitten by a rattlesnake. Again, we're not doing any external causes for hiking the activity or anything along those lines. We're just doing the bitten by a rattlesnake. So where do you think we're going to go for this? Again, we're not doing the external cause. If we have a venom, right? Because rattlesnakes carry venom. If we have venom, hang on, I just got a verification thing that popped up on my screen. I gotta get this done real quick before it kicks me off. Okay. If we have venom. Sorry, guys. My phone decided to go to sleep. I don't know why it keeps trying to go to sleep. Okay. So we're going to go to the table of drugs and chemicals. Hopefully my phone will not try to go to sleep again. So I'm going to sit here and watch it for just a second while I'm trying to explain this. So we have a bite. Yep. So it's going to be a poisoning. Absolutely. So we have a poisoning, which is going to be table of drugs and chemicals. We'll go to the substance is venom. Sorry, I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying to watch my screen and make sure we're not going to fall asleep again. So we'll go to venom. It is a snake. And then it is a rattlesnake. And then we are going to assume that he did not purposefully stick his leg somewhere to get bitten by a rattlesnake. So it's going to be considered poisoning accidental. So it's going to be our first column. Oh, Jen, congratulations. That's awesome. I'm glad that you passed. That's amazing. So you've got T36.011. So let's go back to our T36.011, find our seventh character. My eyes are playing tricks on me today. So T36.01. Oh my gosh, I don't know why my eyes are having such a hard time finding these codes today. T36.0. Oh my goodness. 1. And that's an X. I need the 1, 1. Am I totally missing it, guys? T63, not 36. Holy moly, guys. My dyslexia is getting the best of me today. T63.011. Oh. So T63. Can you all tell it's been a long week? It's been a long day. 0.01. Oh my gosh, 011. Finally, it only took me, 5 minutes to find it. T63.011. And then we need a seventh character. We've got 6, so we don't need a placeholder. And then it's going to be seventh character A. Okay. And there should be a second code here. I just didn't have the space there. So we do need to code for the actual bite itself. And the bite is on the lower leg above the ankle. So we'll do bite, leg, and then lower. So we've got S81.85. So we're not going to code for the ENM because we're only coding for the conditions at this point. So S81.85. And then we've got left or right. So this was on, is it left or right? Does it say? Just above the ankle, wearing sneakers, the area of the snow. Do we have laterality? It's just telling us that it's on the lower leg of the ankle, right? Am I missing laterality in here? Anybody's eyes better than mine today? Because we've already established that my brain is all jumbled. No? Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So yes, in the real world, we would query. Since we don't have it, we can assume that we can code unspecified. So it would be a 9. And then our 7th character is going to match our 7th character for initial. Kit Kat, no, you do not have to memorize your codes. You will have, you will be able to take your books into your exam. Because you have 3 code books that you have to know. And it's absolutely impossible to memorize all of the codes. I think altogether there's like over 400,000 codes, maybe even more than that. I'd have to sit and do the math. Yeah, so sequencing. Yep. So good point. We need to do our sequencing. What is the reason for the encounter? Do we have any guidelines that are telling us sequencing? So the reason for the encounter is going to be the bite. So it would be the poisoning code, the S63. Let me double check our the T63. Let me double check and make sure that there's not any sequencing instructions back there. Yeah, there's not any sequencing. So the reason is going to be the actual bite itself, not the poisoning. So our reason for the encounter should be our first listed. Yep. Tanya, so in this type of question, yeah, there's going to be 2 codes. You're going to have the bite itself and then the anti-venom. Necessarily the anti-venom, but the poisoning of the venom. And then the poisoning of the venom, sorry, I'm switching my chargers here. The poisoning of the venom is going to support the CPT code for the injection of the antivenom. Okay. Question number 6. So we have a 16-year-old male patient that returns to the office today due to increased pain in his left upper leg. What's our condition? Okay. So we did come in for the pain. However, the result of that pain is the non-union of the previous traumatic fracture of the neck of the left femur. So again, if we have a definitive diagnosis and a reason for the pain, then the sign or symptom should not be coded and it should be our definitive diagnosis. So our main term is going to be fracture. The fracture was on the left femur. It was on the neck of the femur. And that tells us C fracture femur upper end and then neck. So we're going to go to the upper end. And then neck is going to be on our next page. And that is, we don't have any other descripting terms or describing terms. So it's S72.00. So S72, sorry guys, the dog's here. There's a helicopter outside. S72.00. And then it is on the left. So 002. And then we've got to figure out 7th characters. So we're going to flip back. We've got, it's not initial encounter. It's for a non-union. So we have 7th character K that indicates for a closed fracture, because again, they didn't indicate whether or not it was open or closed. And then with non-union. So 7th character K. Okay, any questions on that one? So again, don't always assume our 7th characters are just ADS. We always have to make sure that we're looking at our 7th character list and pulling out, making sure we're reading all of them, because they can get a little tricky. Rufus, are you talking about the ICD-10 book itself? It is the AAPC ICD-10 CM, the expert. Okay. Jennifer, you just got your ICD-10 books today? Or just your books in general today? What's the difference with the expert and the professional book? I will be totally honest. I don't know because I've never owned the professional book. From a AAPC standpoint, the only one that AAPC has for ICD-10 is the expert edition. There's not a professional edition from AAPC. And I will be totally honest, I don't know that I've ever had the professional edition of the ICD-10, so I can't really tell you for sure. Sammy, you're in the last class for medical billing and coding. That's awesome. Tiffany, you're cracking me up. We're going to have a lot of one-on-one time. I'm here for you if you need it. Kayla, yes, I saw that your enrollment went through the other day. I'm excited. March 11th will be here before you realize it. Like, it's only 2 weeks away. Sammy, don't be nervous. It's probably not Sammy, is it? It's probably stay-at-home mom, and I'm over here calling you Sammy, and your name's probably not even Sammy. It just dawned on me. Oh my gosh, it's been one of those days. It is Sammy. Okay. Okay, good. Because I could see that it could have been stay-at-home mom of 3. So you're a stay-at-home mom too. Okay, that's funny. Did you do that? Did you choose your username for that reason? Because it looks like stay-at-home mom too? So you have Breland. You have your CCA. You're studying to take your CCS. That's awesome. You're welcome, medical coding. Is it... It cut off your username. Is it mum? Is it what's the rest of it? Mummy. Oh, Patty, thanks for following. Alyssa, you have 1 month of classes left too. Don't be scared of the test. The more scared you are of the test, then the more it's going to intimidate you, and like the more you're going to like psych yourself out. Don't be scared of it. Do your practice exams, do all of the things, right? Practice, ask all the questions, get experience, mark up your books. The more you absorb the information, the more you know your books, then the less intimidating the exam is going to be. Oh, so you ordered a generator. You ordered your ICD-10 book and your CPT book before yeah. Do you ever have CDI? I have never personally done CDI. I don't have any type of certifications that can kind of qualify me to teach CDI. So unfortunately, I don't have a course on CDI. What days do I get on? I have been getting on usually like Monday, usually the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I teach and I have classes and things like that. So it's usually, if I do lives, it's going to be on somewhere around the weekends. Courtney, you take your exam on March 10th. Good luck. Do your practice exams. Prep your books as much as possible. So Sammy, what I'm about to tell you is probably going to blow your mind. I prefer to not tab books because if you tab your books, you tend to rely on the tabs themselves more than knowing the layout of the book. And I know everybody probably is saying I'm crazy.
And there are people that swear by tabs, and that's totally fine. If you are one that tabs has truly benefited you. But a lot of our students will start with tabs and then say that the tabs get in their way because they learn the layout of the book. And the more comfortable you are with your book, the less you will rely on tabs and the more you will actually comprehend it and know what you're doing. Any recommendations for job seekers in California? I will be totally honest, I don't know. I know California has a lot of restrictions, and I know a lot of employers tend to exclude California because of some of the restrictions that are around employment. So I, unfortunately, Maria, don't have anything specific for California, unfortunately. Your liliness. What if it's taking you too long to answer a question? Flag it and move on and go back to it. That's my number one. You don't ever want to spend too much time on a single question. If you don't pass the first time, yes, your CPC exam will be different. It will more than likely be different. Zanetta's Healthy Living. I don't have a specific schedule that I go live on. Like I said, it typically is somewhere around the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. For practice questions. So if you go to the medicalbillcode.com website, let me get it up here. I have like 850 tabs open. So if you go to the medicalbillcode.com website, and then it's not that one. It is the resources tab. If you come out here, all of these that are over here on the left-hand side are all practice questions that are broken down. These are the questions that we go over on Wednesday nights during our study sessions that are held on Zoom. So if you click on them, there's ICD-10 questions and they're broken down, and then you have your answers afterwards. Sammy, I have been in the industry and I have coded since 2007. So I'm coming up on 18 years this year. Patty, do I have videos on how to mark books? I do have some videos on TikTok. If you flip through all of my videos and I think there's a playlist up at the top that will talk about CPT marking. But if you go to the medicalbillcode.com/CPC website, there is a whole section down here for book prep files that you can purchase. So I'll show you what it is that you're getting. You're getting PDF files. And those PDF files will look like the book, and it will tell you what to highlight, what to underline. There are going to be whited out sections for copyright purposes, but it will give you PDF files that will help you prep your book exactly like this. So those files that are on the website, anything that you purchase from the medicalbillcode.com website, if you use code TRCC, so Tiffany Roach Coding Coach, then you will get 10% off. So Chrissy, I don't offer a tabbing system because I like to encourage our students to not tab, because they learn the layout of the book a lot better without tabs. Yeah, Sean prefers no tabs too. Sorry, I'm going through comments and it's taken me a second to get through everything. If you don't pass the CPC exam the first time, how long do you have to wait to take it again? You don't necessarily have a time frame. So you can take it 3 or 4 days later if you really wanted to. So Sammy, if you don't know if you should tab, my suggestion is go to like Walmart, go to wherever, and get the Post-it note tabs that are easily removable. They may not be the prettiest at first, But if you decide that you need the tabs and you function better with the tabs, then you can invest in the more expensive, more sturdy ones. So that's my advice. If you don't know if you should tab, make your own for like $6. Get used to the tabs. See if they get on your nerves. If they do, take them off. If they don't, purchase the ones that you're going to invest in, because it really is an investment because they're not cheap. And then decide if you want to tab at that point. Who do I suggest for resumes? Tanya, her name is Sarah Reagan with Caffeinated Career Creations. So if you go to my TikTok channel or my TikTok profile, whatever we want to call it. No, that's my personal one. Let me get to...
Tonight?
Oh, I actually don't have it on here. But if you go to... I'll pull it up on my phone. If you go to my TikTok profile, you click on this link tree here, and you scroll all the way down. Caffeinated Career Creations. That's Sarah that we use with all of our resumes. She is amazing, hands down. Love her 100%. That's her Facebook page for resume services. You can take your exam online. It's called remote proctoring. There's a lot of people that swear by it, and there's a lot of people that hate it. So if you do the remote proctoring and you do it online at your home, there's a whole lot of stipulations that you have to follow for that. So Whitney, if you go to the medicalbillco.com website, and then you go to the resources page, there's a whole lot of questions here for ICD-10. Alyssa, are your test results, or do you know your test results right away? It's not instantaneous, but you will get them usually within a couple of hours, if not the next day. Are the study classes for people who signed up with you, or can anyone join? The ones on Wednesday evenings, those are available to everybody. So on that link tree that I just showed you guys, there's the top link, I think, up there is for the registration for the study session. And you do have to have a valid Zoom account. We had an instance a couple of weeks ago where we had a troll that signed in, and I had to lock down security on the study sessions on Wednesdays. But if you have a valid Zoom account and you are a U.S. resident, then anybody can join if you have those two. It's free to create a Zoom account if you need to. Adelise, it is medicalbillco.com/CPC, or the link is in my bio. If you click on that link tree, one of the links on there is for the Legacy Education website. Sammy, thanks for putting that promo code in there. Let me actually tag it. Oh, no, I can't tag it because I'm not doing it on mine. Hang on. I can tag it up here. Give me just a second. I just gotta pin the comment. All right. Oh, Kim, thanks for buying all of the book prep. I appreciate it. I'm glad that it helps. I'm glad that you think it is worth the investment, because it is. It definitely is an investment. But it is 100% worth it. Yeah, so you didn't tab your new ICD-10 and you're happy about it. I'm telling you guys, at first, whenever I tell people do not tab your books, they look at me like I'm crazy. And I promise I'm really not. Well, I am crazy. It's totally fine. I've accepted it. And I've come to terms with it, but it's totally fine. But yeah, not tabbing your book, it does seem very daunting in the beginning. But it is 100% worth it in the end because you truly learn your book. Yes. You use HCPCS codes on your exam. I don't have any book prep for HCPCS codes because you really don't have that many questions on your exam that include HCPCS, and it's a very straightforward coding manual. Chapter 4 is a beast, Sean. 1000%. Chapter 4 is huge. Yeah. How long does the discount last? The discount code should not expire. The numbers in orange in the book prep. So in your CPT book prep, that's a good question. CPT book prep. Sorry, I'm trying to switch books here. CPT book prep, the numbers in orange. These are your relative value units or your RVUs. So when you are coding from scratch and you have multiple codes, multiple procedures, you are going to sequence them in descending order based on these RVUs. These RVUs come from CMS. These are not anything that I have calculated, anything I have made up, anything like that. These come directly from CMS. The ebook study guide, no, it does not have an expiration date. So whenever you purchase the study guide by ebook, then it is yours forever. But it does not update with the new code set every year. So if you purchase the 2025 study guide, then in 2026, when new codes come out and changes happen, then it will not update. But you will have access to the ebook for the study guide indefinitely. Are you able to study with 2024 books? Absolutely. The only downfall is if you test now, then you're going to be testing on the 2025 code set. So you are able to bring in the 2024 code manuals into the exam, but there may be instances, I can't say for sure because it totally depends on the version of the exam that you get. There may be instances where you have a 2025 code in your answer and you won't find that in your 2024 books. So yes, medical coding, mummy. You can 100% write notes in your books for the CPC exam. CCS is a little bit more strict, but you can 100% write the notes and the code or write in your CPT code book. ICD-10 as well. So if you want to prep your book like mine, you can go to that legacy education website, the medicalbillco.com/CPC, and you can grab your book prep from there. All right, guys, I hate to jump off here, but it is 3:00 and I do have a prior commitment. But if you guys have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Shoot me a message, comment on any videos, anything along those lines. I am here for you guys. But have a good rest of your evening. I will likely go live tomorrow. I just don't know what time yet. It will probably be earlier in the day, if I'm totally honest. So like early in the morning, like 8:30, 9 o'clock. If you guys are going to be up, then I would love to spend time with you guys, do some more scenarios, answer some more questions, things along those lines. But as soon as I figure out a time, I will get it scheduled, and make sure that you turn on your notifications so that anytime I go live, then you guys will get notified, or anytime I schedule anything. So you guys have a great night, and I will chat with you hopefully tomorrow.